Come here now, girl.
Hello and welcome to What's Map, your one-stop shop for everything workshop. I'm BonBonB and you're very, very welcome. Right, we do all sorts of different maps on this show. We do fantasy maps, we do realistic maps, we do real-life location maps, and some of them are one-to-one scale as well. But for the life of me, I can't understand how we've gone 1,333 episodes before today without making a single visit to the most iconic city of them all, New York. So today I'm going to indulge myself in a visit to that city. Now, it's going to be not the most polished map you've ever seen, but it's a very solid effort. It's 100% vanilla. It's by a creator who's got 26 pages of workshop items. Can't sing a single map on there, so I'm imagining
it's my first map.
That's right. I think you're going to pick up on that anyway as we go through the show. Another thing you're going to pick up on if you want to is a BonBonBingo card. Link is in the description. Check off the memes as we go. And of course, we'll pick up on a daily reminder because it's time for that. That's right, clicking that like button really does support the channel, gets me seen by more people and helps me grow a little bit more every single day. Thank you for your support. Today's map is Manhattan, New York, scale 1:1 by Bazco81. So let's be kind in the comments again because it's going to be a little clunky, but clunky rather than poor. Okay, that's where we're going with this one. Start square looks like that with pre-built grid in place as well. The terrain heights, it is reclaimed land mostly, and therefore it is very flat indeed. That's fine. The resources are away from Manhattan, so if you do want to do some mining or anything like that, you'll be doing it in New Jersey. And then if you've got Sunset Harbour and you want to do some fishing, it's mostly anchovies and shellfish in the Hudson the Hudson River. Oh heck. Okay, off to the workshop. What do we need? The answer is nothing. It's a 100% vanilla map. We'll be using the vanilla temperate theme and the realistic 1.2 LUT. Nicely written description recommending the 81 tile mod, which is linked there as well, so that you can access the top and bottom parts of Manhattan Island as well. So, okay, this is a 100% vanilla map, which means we can imagine it's meant to be played 100% vanilla, although you won't be able to pop down any custom assets, such as all the World Trade Center and things like that, because there aren't any of those vanilla. But anyway, because it's 100% vanilla, you'd imagine that these trees would not be affected by anarchy and therefore would be hidden, so I think we can forgive a little bit of this. So don't worry about that. In fact, across the whole map though, this is about the only part that I could find with any trees poking through the underside of the road. Everywhere else is very much clear of trees. So with that said, I think we can put the trees behind us and move on looking at the networking. Now I feel that networking is of a decent standard, but has been made 100% vanilla, as in no fine road tool, no move it mod, and definitely no bloody penguins, map editor, tunnel or enabler mod. There are tunnels in real life, and this is a one-to-one recreation. You'd probably expect to see the tunnels. They're not here because I feel that the mod hasn't been used. The tunnels would link you from here to the mainland across that New Jersey, across on the right there, that's right, across the New Jersey across there in at least a couple of locations. We've also got a tunnel, I think, linking to Long Island, at least one across that way. And we've got one that loops around under the Battery, which is at the southern tip of Manhattan Island. We'll be getting down there in a moment. Probably the most iconic part of Manhattan itself. And it's certainly the oldest part of Manhattan. Now, here we go. There are hints here as to where we might want to put the tunnels in. The hints are marked out by the creator. Hang on. There you go. Are marked out by the creator in logs. Vanilla logs. I would say that is very neatly done. If you're gonna not have any tunnels, telling somebody where the tunnels need to be on the one-to-one recreation, I think is very helpful. So I think credit where it's due for that. Now it does get a bit clunky from this point with the intersections and such, but yeah, that bit of road there definitely looks a little bit awkward. Then we've got this intersection. Now, whilst it looks ugly, it is actually based very much on the real life intersection. When you're working without mods, that's probably about the best you're gonna do. It could be slightly more polished in vanilla, slightly, but it's a solid effort. And I know we're flying past a few of these bridges, and you might be wondering, why am I not telling you which bridges these are? I have done a little bit of research. They will come in the second half of the show. But for now, we're just concentrating on showing you kind of the layout, how you can get around, that the roads are in place, that we have grid system in place as well. So, showing you all of this. This bridge, I feel, is a bit high. I feel it's a little... I know they can be a little bit higher than you'd imagine, but I think possibly... I don't know how high this one is in real life, but maybe across this part of the river it might be this high. I mean, it's a suspension bridge in real life across there with the covered rail. Like the way the rail's been done there, though, with the proper bridge section running across the actual water. And then when we're on mainland, just having the elevated section. So there has been some efforts made. And for that, I am appreciative. We're going to go elevated in a second, and then we've got one more small bridge to cross. I don't remember what bridge this is, but anyway, it links a couple of the boroughs. This is the boroughs, or boroughs, I think they call them in New York. So linking across to another borough, and then we have the intersection linking the Long Island Expressway with the Brooklyn Queens Expressway. See, I did do a little bit of research. Now, we've got a little bit of traffic off heading off the edge of the map, right? Because nothing links over that way. That's why it's all going off this way, okay? And then this will head off the edge of the map over there. All good. Now, we do have rail in Manhattan, obviously. You've seen the infamous rail in Manhattan and the infamous Central Railway Station, which is grand. I can't remember what it's called, though. It is central and it's grand. And we'll have a look at where that would be in the second half of the show. This one doesn't make it across the water, so that's fine. That's fine, because there is this one over here, which is the one which will bring us down into the Central Grand Station. It's a bit high and clunky here as well, but valid effort. And then this is elevated in real life, and it stays elevated until it goes into one of those Star Wars style tunnels, you know, like Luke used to fly down, except for we haven't got that ability, I feel, here. We'll talk more about that in the second half of the show. For me, though, that is a truncated railway line. Intermission, be back after this.
Do all your cities end up looking like ugly, lumpy grids? Would you like to evolve a more organic, natural style city? Then check out BonBonB's Breaking the Grid playlist. Click the I button now.
Yes, I get the irony. I did that one on purpose. Shipping routes. Oh, there are shipping routes in and around New York. Probably a bit close to land there. I think the ships will probably make it, but it'll be clunky and ugly, bouncing off of the edge there. They'll be definitely clipping through the pillars on that, and would there be? No, there wouldn't be any turn back traffic there. That's fine. Goes through the middle nicely there. Be going through the pillars on this one, and just scraping the pillars there. That's probably okay. Heading us down here, there will definitely be some shipping doing tight turns there, heading back up the Hudson off the edge of the map this way. So maybe a little shipping triangle there, or probably better still, just doing two separate routes, not connecting them up, I feel would be a better plan. Anyway, there we go, that's the shipping. What about the water flow? We have water flow. It's a vanilla map. If you want to pump your sewage into the lovely, clean, fresh blue waters of the Hudson or the East Rivers, you can do that. Because it's such beautiful, clean water, why wouldn't you want your pump sewage? I know there are New Yorkers out there going, it's not really clean water. Yeah, I get that. I'm sure it's better than it used to be, though. Okay, map looks great from up here, and there's plenty of good stuff to talk about. The iconic Central Park, I would say that's about as good as you're going to do in vanilla and keeping it simple, and double credit. Vanilla, keep it simple, all good. And we kind of stop at this point. We do. We've got the rail. Now, this rail, I was talking about this before the intermission. Grand Central Station, if you want to put it in yourself, you're going to have to do some, like a trench along the middle of this road with lanes on either side of it. The central station, from what I can tell, I'm not a New Yorker, and I'll let New Yorkers happily correct me with anything on today's show, I think it's just after the bottom of Roosevelt Island there. So I think it's right here. I think that's where you find Grand Central. I might be wrong. Please correct me in the comments. Then we've got iconic areas. Iconic areas. Oh, the grid. It's missing a few bits in the grids that I feel that the piers are in. We've got some piers in. Piers are fine. And there's New Jersey over there if you want to do some spreading over that way. But yeah, the piers are in place. I'd like to see all of the little extra roads. And we didn't run out of nodes and segments. There's plenty of nodes and segments left. But I'd like to have seen all of the extra areas filled in as well. That's your iconic area, the oldest part as well. I'd like to see all those little roads in place as well. That's fair enough, though. You can't... Well, you can put in everything, I guess. Yeah, always moan. Okay, we've got a few islands. This one is Governor's Island, which should have a nice big house on it. This one is Ellis Island, which I believe has a hospital on it. And this one down here has a statue on it, but I have no idea what it's called. It is iconic, though. Oh, beautiful. Anyway, yes, of course, Liberty Island. Then if we head up this way, let's talk about bridges. The first bridge we're going to come to over here, this is the Brooklyn Bridge. And I feel that I'd like to see the suspension sections put correctly on that one. I really would. Because it's probably the most iconic of all of New York's bridges. This one here is the Manhattan Bridge. That's the one. And this is the Williamsburg Bridge. Again, that one is a suspension bridge as well. All three of them are suspension bridges. I'd like to see them just a little bit more realistic to... but they're like... It's not so easy 100% vanilla to get everything just right. We do have a slight problem here, though. The middle section of this highway here is... It's all the wrong way. So we just need to invert the traffic flow on that one. And you're good to go. But you've got the 81 tile mod. And inverting that costs you nothing. So, yeah, it's slightly imperfect. In terms of things that are wrong with the map, that's probably it. Tunnels, yeah, more tunnels over there because of the hints. Thank you very much for that one. And then we can follow up this side of the island as well. I would say in terms of 100% vanilla, I'd say it's a very valiant attempt at making it work. And you're going to have a lot of fun building on it because it's one-to-one. There's plenty of one-to-one buildings on the workshop. Yeah, here we are. We've just got a few bits of the grid that are missing. And I think it'd just be nice if those areas were just filled in. Hell's Kitchen down there somewhere, isn't it, I think? Anyway, yes, just it wouldn't take that long to do all of those. And the creator's done a pretty good job on the whole, across the whole of the map. Just feels a little bit unfinished. Just a little bit. Maybe the battery could have been left empty because of the tunnel running underneath it. I kind of get that bit. But the rest of it I'd like to have seen filled in a little bit more. And notice no trees clipping through either, which is very nice. That there I think is where the World Trade Center is, I do believe. Again, just trying to point out some landmarks whilst we're doing some flyovers. And down to Start Square. So you're expecting me to go, and in the Start Square it's the asset of the day. But given we're in New York, Dutch influence and all that, I figure we should do the most iconic Dutch influence building that there is. The most iconic building in New York is, I think it's right about here. Today's asset of the day is the Empire State Building. Oh, hang on. No, it's a bit small. It's, in the location of the Empire State Building, we've got Veerpoort. Apologies to the Dutch for my pronunciations. 1579 by Jass. Okay, great little asset, this one, I've got to say. I'm going to avoid factoids because I'm going to talk about the asset. They do say in the description that the numbers on the front are wrong. It's just something they grabbed. That's fair enough. They also say they don't know how you get into the top of the building. So I did some research. I went into Google Earth, and it's not easy to find side shots of this building in Google Earth. It's not actually in Amsterdam. It's was it Houston? Apologise again for my pronunciations there. It's actually built into a dike, so you have got dikes running across to the first story, and coming in directly from the dikes on the first story, you have got a door on each side, and on the right hand side as we're looking at it now, there is actually a window on the first floor as well. Not obvious though, it's very hard to actually find images of these ones, but I did the research. It's a lovely little thing. Veerpoort 1579 by Jass, today's asset of the day. And a direct factoid about the asset of the day. How about that? The factoid is the asset has doors. What a crappy factoid that was. Anyway, what do you think of today's map? Is it a 1-star map? Is it a 5-star map? Is it somewhere in between? Your vote really does count. We use it at the end of the month for the Viewer's Choice Top 10. Will this be one of the top 10 maps of the month? Only you can decide. Hit the I button now in the top right hand corner of your screen, or the link in the description. It will take you to the voting page where you can vote for free with a Facebook, Gmail, Apple, or a Patreon account. But what do I think of today's map? Well, first of all, let's say from above it looks very much like Manhattan. There's not really too much more to say about it because a lot of it is going to be done in the build. It's a template for a 1-to-1 scale build, so I can't really knock it down, and it looks like what it should look like. I'm going to go slightly above middle 3 based solely on that. Detailing, considering we've got a lot of the road network which looks accurate, there's bits that are missing and some clunkiness to it as well. I'm going to give credit, I'm going to push it into 3 stars, but I'm going to put it at the bottom end. Gameplay potential, I would consider going into possibly 4 stars for this if the road layout were complete, because there's going to be a lot of road completing to do, which you probably do yourself anyway. Let's go 3 stars because it's playable, but go lowish 3. Manhattan, a New York scale 1-to-1 by Bazco81, 3, 3 and 3. That leads to the pass mark. This map will not let you down if you wish to play it, and if it's what you're looking for, you're going to love it. That's all I can say. And now we've been to New York, and I ask all those New Yorkers, especially Mr. Maison, if you're watching, please. And Mr. Miyagi, he's got experience in New York as well, hasn't he? Anyway, that's a smooth transition to the end of the show. If you're still here, you're part of the 20 and out elite. Use the words of the day into the comments to score yourself some population points just for fun, and I'll be back tomorrow with the chart show. Thanks for watching.